now recording on my screen.
Okay.
Great.
So yeah, I don't know. Where are you at with yours, Dan? On that one.
I said the doorknobs are used by the closet to indicate that they're the means by which to open the door, and then other than this, the user has no way of seeing if the door is locked or unlocked.
Mm-hmm.
So I agreed it was a problem because you couldn't see whether or not it was. There was no distinguishable difference between the two, and you couldn't tell if it was a locked handle or a handle that could move.
I've got that too. Actually, I've got indistinguishable from. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Let's move to perception.
Okay.
I also said not a problem.
I said not a problem.
I mean, it's the ability to perceive between the two types of doorknob was not in question, so I figured it wasn't really a problem of perception. But is there anything you had that I didn't have in my text here?
No.
Wait, I'm confused by what you wrote though. The user was not tested on their ability to distinguish the two types of doorknob.
Well, because one was
How
one
did-
that you pull on and one was one that you turn. There were two different types of
Right.
doorknob. So they weren't there to be tested on which type of doorknob they were using. They were just trying to use a doorknob.
I just stated the user was able to see the doorknob.
I
Maybe
just
that was
said-
over simple, but
I
I
had
see what you're saying.
put the
Maybe I
user can
overthought it.
accept.
Say that again.
what was that, Ivy?
I had wrote most users can accept the output that the handle isn't turning, because isn't perception whether they can like see the output
I don't think it's
evaluation?
see the output. I think
or like
it's
get it.
see the see it. Like, are they physically capable of
Yeah,
seeing
that's
it?
what I mean. And so, okay.
See, I thought, their ability to see its outcome was evaluation because they were able to see what happened in action. I guess if that makes sense. That's how it made sense to me. I don't know. Should I change what
The
I've written?
evaluation one made no sense to me because it was so vague. It was just like, if it's not the others, it's this one. It was like, okay. I'm about to open up the book though because I don't remember what it says.
Yeah, I
to
am
be honest.
too. But yeah.
Yeah, I had the book open next to me while I was reading them. I had to like keep going back and forth.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's one nice thing about having dual monitors. I can type on one screen and read the book on the other. Anyway, so Michael had for interpretation, handles like these are meant for turning, thus closet door will mislead the user. Wait, we're talking about perception. Sorry, wrong one. The user's ability to perceive the difference is not tested in this scenario. Okay, so yeah.
All right, let's move to interpretation.
Yeah. So I thought that was a problem because, they're interpreting it to be just like any other doorknob. Which, I don't know. What did you guys find on that one?
I said not a problem because interpretation talks about like an indicator indicating it, but there isn't like an indicator, like I don't know, giving a beat per some symbol.
Mm-hmm.
So
I had put not a problem.
So I also said it was not a problem. The user was able to identify what the doorknob's purpose was, and that is they were what was needed to open the door. So they understood the doorknobs and what their function was. They just didn't, the evaluation is where I said the problem was. So I said interpretation was not the problem.
Well, see, I guess I'll explain my thinking on the matter. Because the door needed to be pulled on rather than turned, that was not able to be interpreted by looking at it. It looked like a doorknob that you would turn, and so in the way that the doorknob was shaped, it made you think it was one you turned, and because they couldn't turn it, they thought it was locked, and therefore they interpret it incorrectly.
I can see that. I'm reading through interpretation one more time. So interpretation is the process of the user understanding the vocabulary, symbols, metaphors. So you're saying the symbol here was the horizontal handle, which is typically meant to be twisted. So by twisting it, they're misunderstanding. They're misinterpreting the door handle because to them it's meant to be twisted. So
Correct.
I can see your argument.
I can see that too.
But I mean, if we want to take a vote on whether we think it's whether it is an interpretation problem or not, I'm happy to do that. I don't want it just because it's on my screen. I don't want my word to be the final word.
I'm just trying to. What I'm doing right now is I'm trying to think if I would, because what you have under interpretation, I have under evaluation.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I have too.
So I'm just trying to figure out where I would put it. So can you? I'm not looking at your screen. Can you tell what you have under evaluation then? Because that will help me decide what
Yeah.
should
So
go under.
evaluation, I've got upon failing to open the door, the user might suppose the door to be locked rather than that it needs to be pulled open. Let me open up the project. See, let me.
Yeah, I agree with that too. For evaluation, I put the user often fails to understand if twisting the doorknob is required or not. So that's kind of what you put under interpretation, which makes sense. Since similar doorknobs require twisting, the user makes the assumption that since the doorknob is not twisting, it is either locked or stuck.
Mm-hmm. See, and that's why I thought interpretation, because in terms of what the book says, I haven't got the book in front of me, but let me pull it open. Because like I said, looking
I
at...
feel like it could be both of them could be right, because I think evaluation is a problem too.
Mm-hmm.
But I am understanding your point of like, was it interpretation?
Just the way that it's shaped, you think this is a doorknob that you would turn, and because you can't turn it, you think it's locked or there's something wrong with it.
Right.
I'm fine with it.
Okay. But if you guys want to outvote me on that one, I'm fine with that too.
I to be honest, I think this is going to be one of those assignments where there might be a few really glaring obvious things that she wants,
Mm-hmm.
but as long as we can explain our reasoning, I don't think we're going to get pinged
Well,
too hard on
Hopefully.
anything.
I'll attach this video with the submission, or whoever submits it. It doesn't really matter, but and that way they can see our thought process regarding all of this.
Okay. All right. Sounds good to me.
So,
let's move on to goal then.
I didn't think that was the problem. They were trying to open the door, and there was no problem with them trying to open the door.
Correct. That's what I have.
Intention, again, same sort of thing. They were intending to open the door, and while they couldn't open the door and the doors reacted differently, that wasn't the problem.
Yeah, the only other thing I said is they often unintentionally broke the doorknobs, but I don't think that's necessary.
Right. I mean, I'm not sure if that was an intention. That was just kind of something that happened as a result.
Well, don't you think intention could be a problem? Because it says intention failures are caused when the user attempts to use a tool in a way in which it is not intended. So they use it in a way that wasn't meant to be used.
Well, they're trying to open the door,
so
and the
I
door
said
is meant to be opened.
But they didn't use the doorknob
the
way that was
they're
intended.
just supposed to pull it, not just twisting
I can see your
it.
argument on that. I would concede on that one. So do we want
Yeah,
to say it was a
I
problem?
said oftentimes they unintentionally break the doorknobs because they fail to use the doorknob as intended by the designer.
Right. That's what I.
Okay, so
I didn't have that.
Dictate
But...
for me. Sorry.
Here, can I just copy and paste what I have in chat?
Yeah. Go ahead. Let me find that.
Do they have chat in here?
Yes, they do.
Yeah, it's on the left.
This is what I had.
Where are we? Okay.
Oh gosh, how do I get rid of this chat?
Alright, I'm just going back to the video. You see my screen still?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Paste. Let's open the door. Yep, I like that. Okay. Sequence. I thought the sequence was a problem, because they appear to operate differently than they actually do. The doors.
Yep, I also said it was a problem.
I said it was a problem too.
And
I said oftentimes an unnecessary step is added, which is to twist the handle, which it should simply be pull.
Okay. Well, I put the closet doors appear to operate in a different way than they actually do. I mean, I feel like we could
Yep,
add
same
more
thing.
to it, but I feel like that's simple enough to cover that.
Yeah, I agree. I don't have a problem with that.
And execute sequence. I didn't think that was the problem. But
No,
it
that's
wasn't.
not a problem.
Yeah.
Correct. I said the users are capable of opening the closet doors.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I had.
Yep. Okay. So the drinking fountain. Are we good with that one? The
Yep.
doorknob. Okay.
Yep.
Drinking fountain. I didn't think the presentation was the problem because nothing about the fountain was misleading. The buttons are huge, and it was just the kids misunderstanding that was the problem.
Yeah, I had that it wasn't a problem because like it's obvious whether the fountain is on or not.
Mhm.
Because like water will be coming out or not.
Right.
Yep.
Maybe I should add that.
Yeah, I said a similar thing. I said the user knows if the water fountain is on when the water comes out of the spout.
Mhm.
I guess that's okay. Are you guys okay with that wording?
Yep. Yep. I'm fine with that.
I thought perception was a problem. Just relatively.
So explain that a little bit more because I
Well,
said it
see,
was
I
not.
thought, his perception was that leaning on the fountain provided water, and so that was an individual thing for him, and not that the button was the source of it. And so the problem resulted from him perceiving a false perception of how it worked.
So I put what you have in perception. I put that under interpretation. I said that the user was able to perceive, as in physically see, that water was coming out of the
The
water was coming
fountain.
out in the fountain. So I said perception was not a problem because he was physically capable of seeing water coming out of the fountain. Him
That's what I.
misunderstanding it is, I think, should be more under the interpretation. He interpreted it incorrectly.
That's what I have too. I have perception wasn't a problem
Hmm.
because of that same reasoning.
See, I was thinking, and obviously I'm outvoted here, and that's cool. I'm just expressing my thought process behind it. See, I was thinking that he knew that it provided water somehow through pushing on it, but he perceived it wrong. I mean, I guess that's fine. So, what can you put in the chat what you had?
Yep.
Chat.
Mine's just very simple and
That's
straightforward.
fine.
And just going over, just reading the perception, it says the perception phase of evaluation. It's about the physical ability to accept the output. It has nothing to do with the mental process.
Right. Right.
Right. Fair enough. Okay.
Because
Yeah.
he has the ability to see the button.
Right.
He has the ability to see the water. Just didn't interpret it correctly, I guess. So, all right, moving on to interpretation.
Um.
Yeah, that's exactly how I feel. He interpreted through observation that leaning produced water and came to a false conclusion as to how. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
I agree.
Okay. Evaluation again. I thought that was a problem. Um. He didn't know why it was producing water and how to make it produce water when he got up there, basically.
Yeah, the only thing I added was so the user fails to connect that it is the act of pressing the button continuously for the water to come out. He thinks that one is only required to lean once against the fountain. And so I also agreed that evaluation was a problem. What about you, Ivy?
I said not, but I also just didn't really understand evaluation, but I'm agreeing with you guys.
Okay.
I didn't think goal was a problem. He was trying to get water.
Correct. Yep, I agree.
No. Yeah.
The intention, I don't think that was a problem either. He was trying to get water, and he tried to do it in the way that he saw someone else do it. and it just failed.
Yeah, that's what I have.
Specify a sequence.
I had that one was a problem
I did
because he
too.
didn't know
Now
how
that I'm
to.
reading what I wrote, I should have said problem, but
Because he didn't know how to use it.
right. I think I meant to write problem because everything I wrote after that sounds like a problem.
No worries.
Yeah. I don't know why. Anyway, doesn't matter. Execute sequence. He was able to activate the water stream, so I didn't think that was a problem.
Yeah, he had the capability to. He just didn't know.
Right.
That's how you did it.
The only thing I said it is possible that the user was not big enough to both press the button and drink at the same time, but they didn't clarify that, so I don't feel like it's critical.
No.
Yeah, they didn't say whether it was like a small drinking fountain or not. They didn't like give any information.
Yeah, so since they didn't include that in the scenario, I don't think we need it.
No.
Right.
Cool.
All
Are we
right,
good
problem
with those
3.
answers?
Yep.
All right. So car door. So I had presentation. I didn't think there was a problem with the presentation. It's very obvious there's a large button and a handle.
Yeah, that's what I had too. Basically.
I'm fine with that. I put, we don't have to go with mine. I just said the door handle is limited in presenting what state it is in. The user simply sees a handle that can be pulled and a button that can be pushed, but I don't have a problem with going with not a problem. Because I don't think it's what caused the problem, to be honest. So, all right, perception.
He had no trouble noticing the handle and the button. I thought that was not a problem.
Yep, agreed.
And again,
Okay, sorry.
Go ahead.
Sorry, what was that? Someone just knocked on our door, so I got distracted. Okay, so it was perception, not yeah. Yeah, I had not the problem either.
Interpretation, I didn't think that was a problem either. He knows that in some combination the button and the handle produce the door opening.
Yep.
So that wasn't the problem. But I thought evaluation was the problem because he thought that after pressing the handle and then pressing the button and then pulling the handle it should have opened, and he was unsuccessful.
Yeah, I said the same thing. I said the user fails to understand why the door is not opening after he has pressed the button and pulled on the handle. He does not know if the steps taken were correct, done in the right order, or if additional steps are necessary.
I like that. Paste that in chat. I like yours, but you wrote it better than I did.
Okay.
Wait, no, evaluation. Whoops. Almost, There we go. I kept it as Jimmy since,
Yep, that's fine.
Jimmy in other places. I didn't think the goal was the problem, obviously, because he was trying to open the door and it was probably unlocked because, the dad was in.
Yep.
Right.
I don't think the intention was a problem either, because he intended to get in. There was no problems with anything about that. It was just him misinterpreting how to do it.
Yep. Did you have anything different, Ivy?
No, I had the. Oh wait, sorry, that was intention. Hold on.
Intention, yeah, sorry.
That's what I had for intention as well.
Wait, hold on. I think I had that one was a problem because he didn't know how, but I might be thinking of it wrong. Yeah, intention failures are caused when the user attempts to use a tool when it is in the way it is not intended.
But he did use it in the way it was intended. He just wasn't successful.
Right. He didn't. He pressed
didn't
the button
push
and then
the
pulled,
button.
but he didn't do them at the same
Correct.
time.
Sorry, I can't understand because you're both talking.
Sorry, go ahead.
bad.
You go ahead, Stephen.
I was just saying he pressed the button and then he pulled, but he didn't do them together. So he knew what to do. He just didn't.
Okay, is that what it says? Because I honestly had a hard time understanding what this problem was like saying. Does it say that he pushed a button, but he didn't like keep pushing it?
Correct. He said he pushed the button and then he pulled. So implying that he first pushed, released, and then tried pulling and then it opened.
Okay. Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah, it says, at first he grabs it with his right hand like his dad and pushes the button with his thumb. That doesn't work. Then he grabs it with two hands but still can't get it to budge.
I
So,
think that can still be seen as an intention problem though, because he still didn't really use it as was intended, because he didn't keep the button pushed down. Although
But
that
if,
might go under the specify sequence.
right, because if you break it down, the designer did intend for him to push the button, which he did, and the designer did intend for the handle to be pulled, which he did. He just didn't do it in the correct sequence.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because nothing he did was incorrect. He just didn't do them together, which was the problem.
All right.
That's how I interpret it anyway. Anyway,
All right, specify sequence.
I
You
didn't think that was
said
the problem.
I
so.
had that it was a problem because he didn't do it right. He didn't
Correct.
carry out his plan correctly.
Right, that's what I had. He needed doing the specify sequence is planning the correct actions, right? So he should have planned to push and pull at the same time,
It
and
sounds
he
like I've
didn't.
got these two backwards, maybe. Because I've got Jimmy's unable to simultaneously press the button and pull the handle, causing him to try them independently.
Right, so it would be execute if he was not able to do both, but he could do. He just planned incorrectly.
Yeah. So I'm gonna swap those. Wait.
How old was Jimmy again?
5?
I
think he was 5. 5 years old, yeah.
So I did agree with for execute. I said it is possible that due to the age of the user, he did not have the physical strength to push the button completely while also pulling on the car door. So in that case, it would be an execute sequence problem for that, but I don't know.
You know, I thought of that too, because that picture of the door, and those kind of doors are like hard to open when you're young. Like the new ones now, they're like much easier, but those old ones were harder.
Well, it says he was able to press the button in.
That's true. Yeah, I don't have a problem saying not the problem because he technically did.
He grabs it with his right hand like his dad and pushes the button with his thumb. So he's able to push it with one finger, so...
Yeah, good point.
But yeah, I don't know if my write-up is accurate now.
So let me give you the write-up for specify sequence because the one you have for specify it makes it sounds like a physical problem. So let me give you mine.
All right. Yeah.
And you can say Jimmy failed to plan correctly.
Yep.
Okay. I'm good with problem 3.
Okay, same.
Okay, cool. Number 4. Now this one was, I think I might have gone off the wagon on this one, but we'll see.
This one was a tricky one.
It was, because there was some places where I was like, well, maybe, I guess, but maybe not.
Yeah.
I didn't think the presentation was the problem. I think the functions of the dashboard were not necessarily why he couldn't keep his eyes on the road, because it was more what he was trying to do with them that was keeping his attention.
Yeah, agreed.
Perception, I thought that was a problem. Tano was unable to use the dashboard functions and operate his vehicle simultaneously. Yeah, I don't know.
I agreed with you. Go ahead, Ivy.
I said that it wasn't a problem because he was able to like physically accept like the output that it was presenting. And so I said it wasn't a problem.
Well, see, I was thinking it was a problem in that he couldn't both watch the road and use the device simultaneously.
But I mean, that's just not possible, though. You know what I mean?
Correct.
Like,
which is why it would be a perception problem, right? Because he's physically unable to both view his dashboard and the road simultaneously.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, I agree.
All right, interpretation. Yeah, I also said not the problem.
Yeah, I said not the problem.
And I thought Tony knows how to use his car and he knows how to use the dashboard, so I didn't think evaluation was the problem.
Yep, I had the same thing.
Same.
I thought the goal was a problem. I think it's the first time I used that as a problem. I didn't think it was the main problem, obviously, but the fact that he was trying to change songs caused his problem. His eventual goal was to get home, but his other goals were to change songs and listen to his music while on the way home, which was kind of a secondary goal, which caused problems for him driving home.
Ivy, what did you say?
I said it wasn't the problem because he knew his goal and it was possible. Because he was able to go back like from the map menu to the music menu and so forth. Like it was possible.
So I said it was not possible because his goal was to change music, use his navigation while also safely driving. So basically what Steven said, he's not able, his goal is to do all three, which he's not able to do.
I guess for safely driving, no, but he did drive.
Yeah,
and he got home.
let's hope he got home. I guess he told the story, so he got home. But I was just thinking that was the only occasion where we had a problem there, and I think it was because he was trying to do like Dan said, too many things at once.
And
I would just add in the addition of like wants to get home safely because like he did do all of those,
You're
you know.
correct.
And
Yep.
so he just didn't get
That's a
home
good point.
safely. So I think that's important there.
Okay, cool. I didn't think his intention was the problem, or maybe it was. I was torn on that one.
I had it was not a problem.
I had what it wasn't, but I just forgot what intention was. So
I said the user is
look it up.
successful in using the screen and driving as intended.
That's true.
So I said it was not a problem.
I said it wasn't a problem. Yeah.
Would you change anything about what I've written?
Not the problem. No, I think it's fine.
I didn't think the specify sequence was the problem, but I could be swayed on that one. This one I was really unsure about.
I can read off what I have written. I don't know if I agree or disagree. 'Cause, I said, while the user successfully carried out the task, he did so at great risk. A better sequence could have provided more safety to the driver. For example, he could have interacted with the screen while completely stopped, rather than while moving. But I don't have a strong opinion on it.
Well,
this is a weird one too. Sorry, go ahead.
The problem was he was in bumper-to-bumper traffic for parts of it, and we don't know whether he did it while he was stopped or whether he was going, and so that's the problem.
Yeah, I don't have strong feelings on this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said it could be a breakdown, and I said that there should be options for the driver just to say skip for the song.
Yeah. He needs one of those things on his steering wheel.
Yeah. Or maybe he did have one.
But that would be under execute, right? Because specify he did everything in his plan, right? Like his plan worked.
Yeah, his
Wait,
plan
are we
worked.
talking
It was
about
just
specify
dangerous.
or execute?
We're talking about specify.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
For
I thought we were talking
specify,
about execute.
he was successful in everything he tried to do. It was just dangerous.
Yeah.
Okay, so then moving to execute, you said problem. Tony's effort to operate both the dashboard systems and also the car proved difficult. I basically said the same thing. I said the user is not physically or mentally capable of keeping his eyes on the road while also interacting with the screen and not staying distracted.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I'm good with that then.
Cool. Well, I'm happy with all this if you guys are.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll have to change this to group assignment.
And to be honest, I liked to be honest, that we disagreed with each other on it, because that tells me that we're all critically thinking about this. Because
Right.
I've been in groups where people are just agreeing, which made me feel like no one but me did the homework.
Right. No one
Yeah.
really
So-
thought deeply about it.
So I'm like really feeling encouraged about this, that all of us like actually did the work. So thanks.
Of course. Yeah. No,
And
I want to do well in this class. I'm just gonna say it, and so you don't have to worry about me.
great. And I actually know Jacob. He and I have worked in a group before, and he's been the other best group contributor I've ever worked with. So I don't think we'll have any issues with him.
Cool.
It's fun. It made me laugh that we just happened to be in the same group because I had worked with him before. So
That's funny. Yeah, there's someone in another group who I've been grouped with before. I thought it would have been cool if we grouped up again, but I mean, it doesn't always work out like that.
yeah.
All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna finish the recording and I'll submit it all if you guys have no other objections.
Yeah, I don't have any
Um,
objections.
I don't have any objections. I just have questions about like our project. I don't know if you want to include
Same.
that in the recording.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we could. I wasn't sure if we wanted to talk to everyone about that or if we wanted to submit this and then talk to everyone. I wasn't sure
Okay.
because this
Who's-
is due tomorrow, whereas the project is due. When is the project due? I need to look. Not tomorrow.
Saturday.
It's
But we
not-
do. So this week we do have one more assignment just like this. I think it's due on Thursday or Friday. I can't remember what
Right,
day.
so I'm thinking maybe when we have more of us here, because we're half strength right now, I'd like to get everyone's feedback on that. But, you know, yeah, keep thinking about it. And I'd like to try and meet again when everyone can try and be here, when we're not under a time crunch of an assignment tomorrow. I mean, heck, we could even meet tomorrow if we wanted to. It's not a big deal. I just hate to do it with only 3 of us.
Right. I'm not suggesting we work on the assignment. I'm just real quick. Do you? And I know we need to get the other 2 contributors' feedback, but I'm just curious. Are you guys hoping to do this mornings or evenings?
I can only really do evenings. I work in the mornings.
Okay. What time zone are you guys in?
I'm in Central,
Mountain Standard Time.
so I'm an
You're
hour ahead of you
Central.
guys. So
And Ivy, you're in what? You're in
Mountain Standard, yeah.
Okay. Okay, evenings is fine.
but at the same
Evenings
time, go ahead.
might be a problem at some point because I'm taking another class, and they also like to meet. They like meet around more like 5.
hmm
So it just depends on what time we meet and what time works for everyone, but it may become a problem.
Yeah, well, I usually stay up late, so I'm not worried about when in the evening.
I work from 11 to 4 during the day, and then I meet with my teams in India from 10 o'clock on in the evening. So as long as we're done by 10, I'm pretty flexible during the day.
What time zone are you?
Mountain Standard.
So it's 8:42 there now. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, 10 is 11 here. I'm not gonna be wanting to, you know, meet that late.
And I think we only need to meet on a group call one more time this week for not the milestone, but the other assignment like this. So, Stephen, if you just want to get that discussion going when
course.
to meet again, I'm very responsive on Slack. So just get those messages out, and I'll make
No worries. And
sure
I've
to
got it on my
respond.
phone too, so I'm keeping up with it too.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, sounds good. All right.
All right, guys. Have a good night.
All right, you too.
Alright, thank
Thanks.
you. Bye.
Bye.